Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue, and it's time for part 2 of that January haul. Well, we've had part 1, it seems to be quite obvious what I should do next. Okay, I should probably get on with it a little bit quickly because this half is a little bit bigger than half, so otherwise I'm going to be here too long. Right, first up, this is a bit of a surprise discovery for me, and it's a French import, as you can probably tell from the title there. Le Quatrième Protocole, fourth protocol. I have the DVD of this. This is an upgrade. This is one of those films that I saw at the cinema, really liked. Like I said, got the DVD, and for years I've been wondering why no one has made a Blu-ray. It's obviously a little bit of a while since I had my usual regular check around to see if anybody had produced a Blu-ray, because I was just about to post on a forum that's like, for example, why haven't they ever made a Blu-ray of? And I suddenly found they had, but it's only available in France. Luckily it's a British made, American made, whatever film, so obviously it's English language. It's not dub or anything silly like that. It's a great little film. Like I said, I don't know why it hasn't been released on Blu-ray sooner. It's based on a novel by Frederick Forsyth, who wrote Day of the Jackal. It stars a pre-James Bond Pierce Brosnan, and as you can see there, Michael Caine, God bless you, as Kermit would say. And it's a very good thriller about, essentially based around the fact that the Russians are trying to break up the agreements between the US and the UK by exploding a nuclear weapon on UK soil next to a US airbase, so the US will get blamed because they've potentially got nuclear weapons stored there, which they shouldn't do. Pierce Brosnan is absolutely ruthless in this. He's absolutely brilliant as the bad guy, the Russian, with Michael Caine as the slightly not action-packed investigative type, trying to work out what his next move is and what he's actually up to. And overall, it's I just can't sing its praises highly enough. Like I said, do not know why it hasn't come out on Blu-ray in more territories. So yeah, that's the fourth protocol, and I shall stop going on about it, otherwise I'll be here all day. Next up is a little bit of a start off towards the spooky end. This is an Arrow release of The Gift. This is a Sam Raimi film, apparently made just before he made Spider-Man and got propelled to the A-list. And this one stars Kate Blanchett, who is recently widowed and works as she's a psychic who works as a tarot card reader to support her young family. Then one of her grisly predictions unfortunately comes true and she becomes the prime suspect. So she has to use her gift to find out who the real perpetrator of the crime or the culprit is. Other people this one stars is Keanu Reeves, this one time going rather against type on his normal role as an abusive husband. Hilary Swank is there, and Giovanni Ribisi. The script is from Billy Bob Thornton and Tom Epperson, who did One False Move, and it's tight-edged and apparently an excellent, important stepping stone in Sam Raimi's career to move on to the big league. So yes, very much looking forward to that. This little nice looking 4K package, and as you might expect, you've got the usual Arrow goodies there. A couple of commentaries, but not by names that I've heard by critics. Next up, we've got a few that I put in the spooky category. So, with no theme other than a little bit scary, I'm probably varying in that aspect. First up, we have the steelbook for Smile 2, with that rather creepy looking image on the front. I originally got the Smile 1 steelbook because everybody was saying that Smile 2 is a better film, despite both being a little bit overlong, but you really had to watch the first film to understand the second one. Of course, the second I bought the first one, ordered this second one, which I wasn't going to unorder, so to speak. All I've heard is from people who prefer the first film, so it's now just time for me to watch both and make up my own mind. So yeah, that's the Smile 2. Strong bloody violence and gore, deleted and extended scenes behind the music, and there's a commentary by the director, which is always nice. Next up, this is a nice quick and easy one, still an 18 rated though. This one's more for strong gory violence. It's quite unusual, to be perfectly honest, in my opinion, because normally strong gory violence usually just gets you a 15 nowadays. It has to either be very, very gory, or has to have some sexual aspect to it, and that's not mentioned on the back. So, and it doesn't seem to be part of the way of things, so obviously it must be quite violent. This one's called Howl, and I think we can probably guess where that's going. Yeah, there's essentially, it's set in the UK. I'm assuming therefore it's a UK film, and it's set on a train headed out of London that hits something on the track in the middle of a forest. The driver gets out to investigate but doesn't come back, and the ticket collector has to team up and probably get control of the frightened passengers and somehow protect them, and as they work together with the lurking creatures out in the woodland. And I think we can safely say by that title we can pretty much guess that we're headed down the werewolves route, especially since the one of the extras with the going behind the scenes is broken down into sounds: the grade, the humans, the train, and the werewolves. There's a hint. And also, well, there's a bit of a in there on the front with the greatest werewolf films since American Werewolf in London, which is quite a claim for something that is now on sale for, and I picked up for $5.99. So I'm looking forward to finding out whether or not it lives up to any of the hype there. But yes, it does indicate that it's UK made and it's UK based. This one isn't. This is from Japan. It's called Love and Crime. It's one of the 88 films, limited editions. 168 there on the back. It's for anybody who, apparently this is, I think, the first time it's been released outside Japan. So, but if anybody from the US is interested, it does state that it's regions A and B compatible on the back. And this film isn't too long, but it's only 90 or so minutes. But it's made up of 4, I believe, separate stories about true dramatizations of true crimes from Japan that all involve women. Of those 4, one is connected with a female killer who was the last woman to be executed by beheading in Japan. Then there's a female serial killer, and finally there is one that'll probably here's a hint, it'll probably make all the male watchers cross their legs. What she goes out and does, it's part of her horrific crime. So that's another one that's 18 rated. Doesn't say what for, but I'm thinking lots of blood and violence, and also, again, there might be some sexual content in there on that, considering that last aspect. I'm not going to go into any more details. So yeah, that was not too long and sounds quite interesting. This one is Japanese language only, so you have to watch the subtitles if you're interested. But it intrigues me. This is another one that intrigued me. This was big award winner, picking up 7 Hong Kong Film Awards in 1989, which was unprecedented at the time. This is about 2 people from the 1930s who have a suicide pact and agree to meet up in the afterlife, but when she gets there he doesn't arrive, so 50 years later she returns as a ghost. She tries to find where he is and gets in contact with a newspaper couple who are very interested in her story, and she tries to track him down through the newspaper. And it's a sensuous ghost story with lush visuals. So yes, really looking forward to that. Like I said, very big award winner. Again, though, I think this is one with no English dub for those who prefer such. It's got the original Cantonese mono, and it's also got a Cantonese 5.1 surround alternate, which is in DTS HD master audio, which is nice of them to do that proper update. Well, not proper update, I'd like to do an update for those who like to use their surround sound. Hope they've done it well. It's got newly translated English subtitles though, so it won't be it hopefully will be a little bit better than some of the older films were. Interviews, archival interview, stills gallery, reversible sleeve. So yeah, and that's a nice little one. Again, from 88 films. That isn't limited. Next up, we step away from horror more and into the world of Marvel. And as you can tell, This is the very nice Venom 4K Steelbook. Venom The Last Dance, the third one, recently, obviously this released in January. So yeah, haven't seen the second. I've got them all, but I haven't seen the second one yet. Even though I hear it's not particularly good, that's also what I heard a lot about the first one. And despite the fact that it's obviously suffered from the lack of Spider-Man being not being in it, which is a shame. And his character is always very much related to Venom from the Marvel comics. For what it was, I quite enjoyed it, as it happens, and I think it got a little bit too much hate. So I'm looking forward to watching them all, and especially considering I have heard quite a few people who've been out to buy this recently and they enjoyed it. So yeah, so there we go. Nice steelbook. Love that image. For those wondering why this is my January haul, when it was a February release, it didn't actually quite arrive in January either, but due to a very, very historic system whereby I mark the date of owning these as the date that they leave the sender, rather than the date they actually necessarily arrive with me. Historical reasons. Wish I could go back and fix it all, so it was always the date that they were in my hands. But I'm not doing that with well over 5,000 titles. That'd be a little bit too silly. This one's got quite a few bonus features with deleted and extended scenes. Sounds like an interview with Tom Hardy, actions and stunts, selected scene, music video, legacy, interview, outtakes, bloopers, author of Mayhem from writer to director, and Venom's Inner Circle. Yeah, look forward to catching up with that one. Also, on the Marvel front, we have Loki Season 2. And it's at this point I just put a picture up here because I cannot find the t-shirt that I wanted to wear. It's obviously, like I said, Season 2. Haven't got around to watching Season 1 yet, but very much looking forward to watching them together when I get some time. Can even find out a bit more background about the mob, etc., that turned up in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that I was supposed to understand. I just had to let go and guess what they were as I was going along. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't think that they should. I don't mind them doing TV shows that tie in with the movies, but I think introducing things in the TV shows that then you need to know to understand the movies, I don't think works. I think is wrong. And another thing that I will back up from what I said last time is I don't agree with the way that they're only releasing these on 4K Steelbook for a lot of money, when many people will just want the episodes on Blu-ray or even 4K, just by 4K in an Amaray. Obviously it might not affect me, but I think it's wrong to do that to other people who like the series and are trying to do the right thing and not not go down the pirating route. Next up, we have the Three Musketeers. This is a 2-film collection. I've always enjoyed Three Musketeers. The plot, and all various adaptations. I've seen an awful lot of them. In fact, the 70s one with Oliver Reed and Chamberlain and Christopher Lee, Roy Kinnear, and Raquel Welch, the first one. That was one of the first films I saw at the cinema. I think I was taken to see it them as a double bill for one of my birthdays. I've always liked that one. But yeah, like I said, I liked almost practically all the adaptations I've seen. I think each one brings something new, and I think these 2 films will bring something new again, especially with them being French productions, no English subs. Oh, sorry, no English dubs, but I'm not bothered by that. I think it might be interesting to see what a French production of a French film made in France will actually bring, and see whether that brings a different slant that maybe has been lost by all the American or British adaptations over the years. So 2 films. I think they were shot like the Three Musketeers, Four Musketeers back in the 70s. I think they were actually shot back to back to save money, and as you can see, they're D'Artagnan and Milady, the 2 parts. Milady's actually only rated 12, but obviously it's 15 rated for the first one, and that's down to shocking 15's brief strong injury detail and violence, and 12 rated it's moderate violence, threat, injury details and sex references. So there we go. Yeah, and I liked, obviously, the 70s version, the person who played Milady was absolutely brilliant. Love those glass daggers filled with acid. And Adam de Winter, Milady in that film there. And finally, I got through them a little quicker than I thought, but finally, no, actually no, there's 2 left, I was wrong. This is the steelbook for Red Dawn. The story, the 80s story of an alternative 1980s, where most of the rest of the world has gone to communism except the US, and all of a sudden the Russians start to invade a small US town, and the only people who fight back are the brothers, who were young at the time, played by Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen, and their father, Harry Dean Stanton. Well, it's a good trio of actors there, and they fight back against the Russian invaders as the Russians get ever more intrusive into the rest of the country as well. They decide to take their fight back against the Russians. So yeah, this is Kung Fu Cult Master. This is a Nova Media, what you call equivalent of the Sainsbury's Basics range. They call it the plain edition, I believe. Looks really, really nice. It's got a nice slip cover, as you can see there. I like the design. But if I'm honest, I should have done more research before putting a bid in for it on eBay. It was a low bid, and I didn't expect to win, to be perfectly honest, with it being Nova Media, but I did. So I stuck to the agreement, and like I said, though, I should have done a little bit more research, because I found out later that this does now have a UK release, which is by Eureka, I think. Yes, that's by Eureka. It's got a UK release, and that's a better release overall from a new master. It's got better extras. It has an English dub for those who like it, and it also has a very nice looking slip, and it's got, like I said, more extras, commentary, etc, etc, and it would have been cheaper. So it just goes to show, can't get it right all the time, even though I do normally make a strong effort to make sure that I do the appropriate research before I go and buy something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of this January haul. If you did, please hit the like button, and I'd love to hear your comments, and I'll reply to them all, as I always do. Like I said, please hit the like button, it really helps the channel. Please subscribe so you'll find out when my next video is coming out. In the description below, as always, there are links to my Instagram and also to my Facebook page for the channel, if you are interested in joining either of those. So most of the time the Facebook page is me making pre-announcements on what's coming up, etc, though I'd love to have it being used more as a discussion area as well. So feel free for anybody who's a member there to post your own things. It's not just supposed to be there for me to say this is what's happening on the channel. So that'd be fantastic. And like I said, in the meantime, before my next video, please keep on as always, enjoying the movies, the physical media, TV, going to the cinema, supporting that, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.